What is up guys, it's your boy Gunsoww and welcome back to a new video. Yes, I know, I found my password. Anyways, today I'm gonna show you guys how to make a simple yet effective Detroit type beat. If you need an example, just look up Babytron or Crispy Life Kid. They mostly make these kind of songs. It's basically just a dynamic, fast, funny-ish type beat. Perfect for raw kind of bars, I guess. Just funny, unfiltered. You'll get it if you start listening to it. Anyways, I'm not gonna waste any more time, so I'm just gonna jump straight into it. Alright, so to make it easier, I already made the beat just so I can break it down more easily and not waste any time actually making the beat, because, you know, sometimes you just can't make beats on command. Anyways, here's how it sounds like. As you can hear, it's aggressive, it's, you know, fast-paced, overall bouncy. It's just an effective beat, and you can imagine just really dumb but funny verses on top of it. Let's break it down. So I'm gonna start with the melodies. In this case, we have 3 melodies, which consists of 2 Xenologies and 1 SRX keyboard. And you can find all of these plugins in the Roland bundle if you know where to look for them. But anyways, this is the first melody. As you can both hear and see, it's a really simple melody. It does have some effects on it, but this is how it sounds like dry. Now, for the effects, what I've added was an Effectrix just because I wanted it to be a bit more interesting, so it sounds like this. It's more stuttery, just, I guess, bouncier overall, but really simple. Then I've added a shaper box too with the slide change preset, which is a default preset, and it basically does like a vinyl reverse kind of thing, I don't know. It doesn't do that much, but it does help with the overall bouncy flow, I guess. Then because the melody is a bit lower in volume, I decided to bring it up a bit by compressing it. So really simple settings, negative 15 decibel threshold, 2.0 ratio, and a 5 decibel gain. Other settings, default, nothing crazy. And then just an EQ to correct some things, get rid of the lows, and boost the highs a bit so it's crispier. Then for the second instrument we have a bell, again Xenology, and it's a really simple pattern and it sounds like this. As for the effects, we only have an EQ and that's about it. I boosted some of the high ends / mids just because I wanted it to have a bit more of a presence in the song. You can barely hear it otherwise, but it works. And then for the third melody, which again is a piano, this one is mostly there just to fill space, basically with just some lower frequencies, because the piano itself is placed on lower notes. As you can see, it goes from E4 all the way down to B1, and it sounds like this. The B1 barely does anything, however, it's one of those cases where if it's not there, you'll notice that something is missing, basically. So these are the melodies all together. You know what I mean about the B1 note? It's there, but it's subtle, but you still notice it. If it weren't there, it would have been a bit empty. Now, the fun part, the drums. I'm gonna start with the 808 because this is the most simple. It does follow a specific rule, or rather, the most common pattern when it comes to Detroit, which is this pattern. 3 notes and then repeat it once every 2 bars, and that's it. In most cases, you won't even have this note variation. It's only gonna be on like the root note. However, I wanted it to be a bit more polished, I guess. This note makes a difference. As you can hear, it does make it a bit more dynamic, which is what I wanted. As for the mixing, we have nothing on it, honestly. We do have the classic soft clipper on the master, and that's about it. This is just to make sure that the beat does hit and we get that distorted effect that most of these beats have in common. As for the 808, it's a simple 808. You can find them on the internet anywhere. Also, it's most likely just a Spins 808, just slightly distorted. But then if you go into the range tab, I also boosted the volume by like 4 decibels just to make sure that it does hit, because this is what I wanted. And that's about it with the main 808. Then we do have a second bass, which sounds like this. Again, you can find most of these on Reddit. Just look up Detroit drum kits and you'll find plenty of them. This one, I just wanted to have some extra spice, I guess. Initially, I didn't have the second part of the 808, so the bass was originally like this. which sounded nice. However, I wanted the beat to be punching throughout the whole thing, so I added the second part of the 808 as well. So now together it sounds like this. It's more greedy, it's more in your face, and this is what I feel like is needed in these beats. Now, for the other elements, we do have a hi-hat, an open hat, a clap, and a snare, and that's about it. The hi-hat pattern is really simple. The first 3 notes follow the 808, so basically, to make this pattern from scratch, all you have to do is right-click on the hi-hat, fill each 4 steps, and then remove the second bar in this case and the 4th bar notes. The first bar completely, same goes for the 3rd bar, and place the hi-hats where your 808s would be. This is where they would hit. And then repeat the process for the 3rd bar as well. The open hat is really simple as well. We have the main hit at the beginning of the bar or the pattern, and then on the 3rd bar as well. However, on the second half of the pattern, we also have a second open hat hit, which hits at the same time of the 3rd 808 hit. It sounds complicated, but it really isn't. So I'm gonna play it with the 808 and the hi-hat as well, just so you know what I mean exactly. And that's about it with the percussion, or at least with the hi-hats and open hats. Now, it's up to you if you want to use a clap or a snare. However, if you do use them, make sure you get the shortest possible snares you can find. Something like this. This is the perfect snare for Detroit. However, I really like this clap, so I wanted to use this one. For the clap, it's the classic, you know, clap slash snare pattern, just nothing complicated, no filler notes, nothing, just clap. As for the snare, it's again the classic filler pattern. I'm also gonna play the hi-hat just because the first note is gonna throw you off a bit. So with the hi-hat is gonna be a bit more anchored tempo-wise. Also, this note was placed by accident, and I did like how it sounded, so I just decided to keep it in. But as you can see, it's really simple and really easy to do. And that's it. Like, these are all of the drums together. And there you have it. This is basically 99.9% done. However, if you see this is what completes the beat, I guess. The Pharrell 4-hit thingy, whatever. We can use it for both an intro and for a beat switch up, or just as a pause in the beat or a break in the beat. In this case, I decided to use it as an intro. However, this is what we're gonna be using to extend the beat as well, because we can't have just 16 bars and that's the whole song, you know? So I'm just gonna select all of these, hold shift and drag it out like this. And that's it. We're gonna be just extending the beat in this way, and there you have it. Of course, you can play around with the hits, with pauses. You know, the beat is done, you just need to structure it out. And this is how it sounds like from start to finish. I'm not gonna play the whole thing, but you know what I mean. In case you did notice, there is a variation of the main piano here, which is basically just making the pattern unique, and then Control or Command, I guess on Mac, down arrow, and we basically moved the whole thing 1 octave lower, and that's our variation. Only for the main melody, nothing else, and then just duplicate the pattern. So we have the main pattern and then the second one. Main, second, so on and so forth. And that's it. Because let's be honest, these beats are just for the energy. You don't really care about repetition, because this is where the rappers come in and they start delivering the freestyles, whatever, making sure the song sounds good or is funny or whatever. Not all Detroit songs are comedies, of course, but from what I've noticed, most of them tend to have a lot of joke lines, be it self-deprecating or just a lot of stupid shit and like irony. But that's about it. This is basically how you make a Detroit beat. If you want to save time, you can just make this as a template and then only change the melodies. Also, in case you haven't noticed, I forgot to mention this, the beat is on 195 75 BPM, so really fast. You can either make it on 100 and then just make everything twice as fast basically in the pattern, or just go straight to 200 and then make the beat, you know, on 200 BPM. But yeah, that's about it with this video. I hope you guys managed to learn something from it. I know it's been a while since I've been uploading any videos on this channel, and it's been even more since I've been consistent. I'm not saying that I'm gonna be consistent again, but I'm just saying you may see me more often. Anyways, it was your boy Gunsoww, and I'll see you guys when I see you. Peace.